Good afternoon folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's safe, hope everybody's well, and welcome to another video. So today I'm in the bathroom then, and I'm going to start taking off the tiles from the walls, and we'll see what the plaster's like underneath. So this bathroom is going to be refurbished, so everything's going to come out. In all likelihood I will need to replace the floor as well, as it's got this chipboard, these chipboard panels, and there's been some leaks in the past. Thing is, of course, you get chipboard plus water equals Weetabix. So anyway, I need to take this stuff out. I'm going to start today. I'm here for sort of 3 or 4 hours, so we'll just start taking some of this stuff off. Now, I'm not going to use an SDS drill with a big chisel on the end and just absolutely try and destroy everything. I want to do this carefully just to make sure that I cause the least amount of damage. Anyway, I'll pan round. Now, it is a small bathroom. It's about 2 meters square, or just a little bit bigger than that. So, you know, it might be difficult to, I don't know, sort of gauge size, that sort of thing. But I've got you on a wide lens, so hopefully you can see better what we're dealing with. So as we can see, look, it's tiled from top to bottom. We've got these sort of just cheapo white tiles on here, look. What, about 5 inches square, something like that, 125mm, whatever it is, 6 inches, whatever it is. Yeah, tiled ceiling to floor. We've got a steel bath in here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, as I say, just rip everything out. There is a electric shower there, so it goes off a cold water feed. I've got to do some filling in of those that chase just there, look, no biggie. So as I say, it's one of these things whereby you don't really know what you've got, you know, what you're dealing with until you strip everything off and you can actually see what the state of the walls are. So undoubtedly there will be some plastering to do in here. So the floor then, as we can see, it's chipboard, and there have been some leaks in the past, so this can't be salvaged, and I'm not even going to try. Okay, I mean, it's coming up, and I will strengthen the joists underneath, and I'll put some plywood on top of that. Now, where the bath is at the moment, I'm envisaging putting a small stud wall, now about say 12, 13, 1400mm from the floor, bring it out probably to about there. I'm going to have a big shower tray, and basically it's just going to be used as a shower. I don't want a bath in here, it takes up too much space. So I think realistically that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to probably have a glass screen above it, and I'm going to tile everything. So that's what the initial plans are really. Now the ceiling, it's got this horrible Artex stuff, so what I'm going to do with that, I'm not going to use plasterboard in here. I'm going to use some cement boards or tile backer boards and put it up there and just sort of fix them into place. We can see where the property's been rewired, look, where they fed through the wires, and I've actually secured those. It's a small bathroom, there ain't going to be loads and loads to do, but that said, things always take longer than you expect, don't they? So without further ado, I'm going to start taking these tiles off now then, and as I say, I'm here for sort of 3 or 4 hours, and then I'm going out this evening. So yeah, we'll just start and see how we get on, and fingers crossed the walls aren't going to be a complete mess. There will be some work needs doing, but that's something which can be easily sorted out. Anyway, I'll reset the camera. So you can use lots of different tools to take tiles off. So unless it's a really big job, in which case, you know, you would need to use something like an SDS drill with a chisel end. Do you know what? I just prefer one of these old scrapers with a really firm blade and a hammer. You know, it just makes it quite a nice, relaxing, therapeutic thing to do. So just to show you, look, so this is the sort of thing you can expect. So here, look, we can see the old sand and cement base, and on top of that we've got the skim layer, look, you can see. And what you tend to find is the fact that it's a skim layer that comes off, because the adhesive used to fix the tiles into place, the adhesive is far stronger than the skim which is attached to this backing plaster here, look. So this is not uncommon, but stuff like this can be easily sorted out. So just another observation. Now, when you have your electrics done, I know there is no legal requirement to have any of this sort of protective capping protecting the wires, but I actually really like it, and I think it's a great idea because it does protect the wiring when you're doing stuff like this. Now, the saying is that it stops something like this will stop the plasterer's trowel catching the cables. And, you know, whilst that is true, you know, if you're doing a little job like this, you know, a refurb job, it just protects the cables, and for the small extra cost, it just seems to me to make sense to have this sort of protective capping in the chases just to protect the cables. Now, when it comes to the more harder to reach tiles, to get them off, obviously the easiest thing to do, rather than faff around, just hitting with a hammer. And what I like to do, just try and keep the dust down, and also the shards of ceramic down. I just get a damp cloth, look, it's a wet cloth, just put it over and then just whack them. So it just keeps the dust down, and if you do get any shards of tile flying around, it just stops them hitting you. Just makes it a little bit safer. Right folks, so we're making some nice progress. I'm going to stop for a cup of tea, and then we're going to pick up the speed a little bit. So to do that, I'm just going to swap over to a cold chisel with one of these. It's about a 2-inch edge on it, look, and it just means that I can do it a bit quicker. Now, I've got a bucket full of tiles which I can practice on. So there's quite a few there. I'd imagine there's at least a couple of dozen there, so I'm not really bothered about salvaging any more, and I wouldn't be able to use them for anything else anyway, to be honest with you. So yeah, so I'm going to start using this, look, and this will be quicker. just wanted to just take a couple of minutes out just to have a chat with you about something, and it's a plaster related thing again. Now, you do quite frequently come across areas like this, look, where the plaster is really bad. It's got a deep crack and, you know, it's loose and it does need repairing. So what I'm going to do when I do the plastering, before we do the tiling, I'll show you what to do and how to deal with a situation like this. And you find areas like this commonly around door frames and window frames, and a lot of the reason is because when you get doors slamming, closing, open, closing over a period of time, especially in older houses, it tends to weaken the plaster. But anyway, look, we've got a few areas down here. Now, if you do see something like this when you're taking the tiles off, it can be a little bit scary, but I will show you how to deal with that. Now, over here, look, we can see again that there's a big hunks of plaster coming out here. And that's one of the reasons why I like to just try and be as careful as I can with this, because let's face it, even though I'm skilled enough to be able to deal with this sort of thing and repair it, there's no point in creating any more work for yourself than necessary, is there? So like I say, yeah, things like that can be a little bit scary, but with practice you can learn how to deal with things like this. And as I say, I will show you a little bit later, a little bit further down the line, how to deal with situations like this, and how even a DIYer with not much experience actually can deal with a situation like this, rather than having to pay somebody to come in and do it for you. All right, catch you in a bit. Right folks, day two, and we've virtually sorted out all of the tiles. I just wanted a quick chat with you about the adhesive which is left on the wall. Now, in a small bathroom like this would need to come off. And the reason I say that is because, I mean, look, you can plaster over it with something like bonding plaster and it would work. In fact, this surface here would actually be quite a good background to plaster on, because it would have a good key. You'll just need to take out all the high points, all the rough bits, but that there, look, would represent a very good key indeed. Now, the thing is, if you're in a bigger bathroom, you could leave it on there and, as I say, plaster it over. But the thing is, in order to do that, it would mean that you need a thicker layer of plaster. Now, a thicker layer of plaster on all walls, you know, in a small bathroom like this, means that it could make quite a little bit of difference. If you're in a large bathroom, then you could just plaster over that basically with a plaster such as thistle bonding. So what I'm going to do, look, I've already started the process of removing this tile adhesive, and I'm going to take it all off, and it just means that all I have to do then when I'm repairing this wall before tiling is basically just to flatten it out. And because I don't have all of these deep ridges to plaster over, then it just means I don't need such a thick coat of plaster. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. There are quite a few big gouges. Some of it goes back to the block work, but they can be easily dealt with. And as I say, I will show you what I'm going to do with those, and we can just see these old sand cement backgrounds. Look, they're very unstable. So one of the things which we will need to do first of all is to stabilize this wall. So basically we just need to get rid of all of the really crappy bits. So there we go then, folks. I'm just going to crack on now and just tidy up, and before I leave this afternoon I'm going to vacuum up and make sure the place is as clean and tidy as possible, so next time I come, you know, it doesn't look quite as miserable.